Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to talk about setting some financial goals. This is one of the most important things that you can do in order to increase your net worth. I read a stat once that said that 83% of Canadians do not have any financial goals. 14% of Canadians have financial goals, but they don't write them down. And 3% of Canadians have financial goals and actually write them down. The study went on to state that those that had financial goals but didn't write them down had an actual net worth that was 10 times higher than those that didn't have any financial goals. And those that had written down their financial goals had a net worth that was 30 times higher than those that didn't have any financial goals. Now, I don't know what the exact averages are, but I want to put some numbers to that so you can really see what the significance of those are. So let's just say that the average Canadian that didn't have a financial goal had a net worth of $50,000. Again, I'm making up that number. Let's say it's $50,000. That means that a Canadian that has a financial goal but doesn't write them down has a net worth of $500,000. And a Canadian that writes down their financial goals and looks at it and sees it, they have an average net worth of $1.5 million. And that's just taking an average of $50,000 for those 83% of Canadians that don't have financial goals. So you can really see what the significance is of having those financial goals written down. I've been writing down my financial goals for years and years now. I use a technique called SMART goals. I use the SMART goals. Your goals need to be specific. It should be clear. What is your goal? It should be measurable. How do you know that you're going to get to your goal? It should be attainable. You should be able to get there. It should be realistic. Don't pick something that can't be achieved. And it should be timely. It should be a goal that has some sort of time frame to it. Every January, I tend to create a few short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Short-term goals are those that I want to achieve maybe within the next 1, 2, 3 years. The medium-term goals, maybe I want to achieve something in the next 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. And my long-term goals, those are goals that won't be achieved for a significant amount of time, more than 5, 6, 7 years. It could be a retirement goal, something set way in the future. Warren Buffett has the 25-5 rule, he calls it. He says write down 25 financial goals and then just pick the 5 most important ones. If there's too many, then you're gonna be overwhelmed, you're not gonna achieve them. But if you pick the 5 most important ones, the likelihood of you achieving them is a lot higher. Some examples that you could use for your short-term goals. You could want to set up a budget this year. You could try to set up an emergency fund or start an emergency fund. One of my short-term goals every year is to read at least 5 financial books every year, every calendar year. Maybe you want to start investing in a TFSA, or maybe you just want to start investing in general. Just learn how to do that in the next 1 year, 2 years. Some examples of some medium-term goals that you could strive for. Maybe you want to save money to go to university. Maybe you want to buy a new car in the next 3 or 4 years. Maybe you want to go on vacation to Europe or Southeast Asia, and that's going to cost a lot of money, and so you're going to save up for that. Maybe you have some credit card debt or car loans or some other debt that you want to repay in the next 3, 4, 5 years. That would be a great use of a medium-term goal. Some examples of long-term goals. Common ones would be buying a house. Maybe you're young and you want to purchase a house in the next 10, 15 years. That's a great goal. Maybe you have a house. Maybe your goal is to pay off your mortgage. Maybe you are starting a family. Maybe you want to start saving for your children's education, learn about RESPs and start maxing those out, or even putting a small sum into their RESPs. Maybe you want to start a business in the future, or maybe you just have a financial goal of retiring early and you want X amount of dollars in your account or something like that. Those are all examples of some long-term goals you could have. When you're writing down your goals, again, really focus on that SMART goals strategy. If you wrote something like, I want to have $1 million, that's really more of a statement, and it's not really pushing you to achieve that goal. And as you get older and older, you look at it and you think, yeah, eventually maybe. But if you restated that as, I want to have a net worth of $1 million by the time I am 45 years old. That's really specific. It's got that time frame on it. You know that by the time you're 45, you want to have that $1 million net worth, and it's going to really motivate you to and push you to try to achieve that goal. You should push yourself, but you need to be realistic. Again, if you have a mortgage, and let's say you write down, I want to pay off my mortgage in 25 years, and you took out a 25-year mortgage. That's not really a goal. That's really your bank telling you how long it's going to take to pay off. So that's not really pushing yourself. That's just doing what the bank has said. But if you said, I want to pay off my mortgage in 20 years instead of 25 years by doing whatever you're going to do, that's going to motivate you to try to cut those 5 years off of your mortgage. But again, don't be too aggressive. If you said, I want to pay off my mortgage in 3 years, now it's unrealistic. Now you're going to have trouble staying motivated to try to get that because you can't do it. You know already you can't do it. If you took out a 25-year mortgage, why are you saying that you can actually pay this off in 3 years? So push yourself, but be realistic. Once you have your goals, you need to try to determine how you're going to achieve those goals. So for instance, let's say you write down, I want to have an emergency fund with $12,000 in it in 2 years from today. So how are you going to achieve that? Are you going to put $250 into your high interest savings account at EQ Bank every month? Do you get paid every 2 weeks? Are you going to put $125 into your savings account every payday? So you've picked that sum, you've picked that time goal. Now it's up to you to determine how you're going to achieve that. If you want to go on vacation to Thailand or something like that, you need to do some research. How much do you think it's going to cost you? And then if you want to do it in 3-4 years, how are you going to get there? And if you don't achieve your goal or you do need to change it, that's okay too. Sometimes things happen and you're not going to achieve it. Maybe you shot a little too high. You wanted to be really, really aggressive and you thought you might be able to do it, but you couldn't quite do it. But if that goal still motivated you to push towards that goal, then it's okay that you didn't achieve it. I do want to state that there should be a good reason why you didn't achieve your goal. It should be something that you are striving for. You shouldn't just write something that you think would be a good idea but aren't really pushing yourself towards. And I just want to state that setting and achieving financial goals is super rewarding, and it's going to keep you motivated and push you to achieve more and more of these goals. And again, it's a really great way to increase your net worth in the end. In fact, this is one of the first activities I do with my students because I know how important these are. I've seen it in myself, I've seen it in others. It's a great way to increase your net worth. I hope this video has helped you see the importance of setting financial goals and maybe hopefully even setting some of your own. If you've enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all my new ones, please subscribe below. I hope you have a wonderful day.